Introduce yourselves.
Amanda.
Will. Technically off screen for a minute. You alright?
I'm fine.
That's a limited term. Come now. Let me help. Talk to me.
Why? Why should I?
Outside of the fact that I am trying to teach you, I did figure you should try the meditation just to see if anything came up.
Too much came up too soon. Should just go.
You know, I had parents before the order as well. It's more than likely they were smugglers. Left me on the steps of the temple when I was about 5. Just shy of too old to be trained. Most of the masters had no interest. I moved from essentially foster guide to foster guide to foster guide for quite some time. I had quite a few of my own issues with temper. Until someone finally decided I was worth it. It's part of why I said you remind me of myself at that age. So, I do have to ask, the name Destroyer, that does ring some bells, I would imagine?
Possibly.
Nima. I'm not going to toss you out of the temple because your parents were Sith. I've fought against the Sith plenty of times. That does not mean I'm going to visit judgment upon their children.
Do you really mean that? Or are you just saying that?
I would not have taken you on as my Padawan if I didn't.
Suppose that's a fair point.
Also, I will admit something. I had you take the sitting meditation to see what might come up, but I've never had much faith in that method myself. So we're going to do a moving meditation. Before we do, however, I need you to remind me, just to see if you remember it, what is the first line of the modern Jedi Code?
I don't know.
Excellent. You haven't learned it yet. The current line of the modern code is, there is no emotion, there is peace.
Too.
Logical? It's not necessarily that the Order doesn't understand emotions exist. It's that we try and, put them off somewhere. At least that's my understanding of it. I tend to go, controversially, by the Ancient Republic's version. And yes, the code has been rewritten many times. That happens. Emotion, yet peace. Stuff that has to be dealt with, it's chaotic, it's not great. A possibility for foundation and wisdom. When my father dropped me off on the steps of this temple, he gave me one piece of advice. Don't fear your emotions. You learn to live with them. And he cheerfully added, or the enemy will use them to bury you. I used to wonder what he meant, and then I realized it was him preparing me for what lay ahead. As best he could, given he had no idea how to raise a Force-sensitive child. So, I'm not asking you to use your anger, but I am asking you to live with it. So let's try this out.
I'm not sure this will work.
I'm not sure either, but you won't be able to discern darkness from other darkness until you turn on the light. So, this is more of a dance than a fight this time, understand?
More of a form.
Exactly. So, reverse it. Stay. Very good. You keep pushing. control you. If they can control you, stand up for yourself. Stand up for yourself. You told me once you felt that they neglected you, that they treated you like a droid. You don't like being left out. Own it. Go ahead. You all right? Oh dear. All right. Hold still. That was actually well done. Not an ounce of dark side energy. I'm actually impressed.
What were you expecting?
Well, normally, harnessing emotion like that tends to have bad drawbacks. But you simply stood up for yourself instead. That's a good first step. And it can be really difficult to tell the difference between standing up for oneself and being aggressive.
Suppose so.
Listen, I know you don't feel like you belong here. And it will take time for that to change. But you have at least one Jedi who cares about how you do. That's a good start. Now, how about something to eat?
Space walls.
I know the place about you. Master Emperor, you have a...
Don't ask!
I don't know what to expect of him anymore.
There's a place 2 blocks down. Want some calf as well?
Calf.
You're old enough. Come on.